So I've got to ask you, what are your priorities for District 8?
I think for far too long, as a lifelong resident of District 8, I know that a lot of the things that we want in the community that we're asking for as community members have not been accomplished. And these are basic needs that a lot of other communities take for granted. These are sidewalks that, haven't been built so kids cannot walk safely to school. These are lack of lighting, so safety is a concern in a lot of neighborhoods. These are parks and open space that haven't been built, which for me, we talk about creating healthy communities, safe communities. We need open space for families to be physically active and healthy. So honestly, we need our fair share, and I'm running to be that fighter to guarantee that our communities get our fair share.
Now, Councilman Alvarez has been the lone no vote on the council on a number of homeless initiatives. He voted against setting up shelter tents and creating a storage facility in Sherman Heights, among others. How would you have voted in those issues?
I would wish that if I was a council member, a situation like that wouldn't have happened. The fact that you have a homeless storage facility 1 block away from an elementary school is outrageous. I also feel that when it comes to it, voting no might be admirable, but the reality is that you shouldn't have been in that situation. And frankly, what I would want to do is make sure that when situations come like that, homeless storage facility is a great idea. 1 block away from an elementary school, bad idea. So, I would hope that it wouldn't come to that.
And Councilman Alvarez did team up with Republican Councilman Scott Sherman last year to come up with a detailed set of initiatives to reduce housing costs. What specific ideas do you have to tackle housing affordability? Well,
we need to streamline the process to develop housing and focusing on affordable housing, because I think a lot of times when you talk about families that want to buy a home can't because it's too expensive. So I think ultimately when it comes down to it is obviously streamlining the process, making sure that families can buy a home. And more importantly, again, when it comes to the homeless crisis, we need to start focusing on wraparound services to get individuals the help they need.
And what about public transit and biking options in your district? How do you plan to improve those options?
One of the great projects that I support completely is the Border to Bayshore Bikeway, which essentially not only provides more opportunities for biking, but also connects communities, especially in the South Bay. But I think ultimately we got to focus on, what are we not doing? I mean, if you talk to somebody in San Isidro trying to get to, say, East Chula Vista, it's going to take a long time taking the bus to get there. And really, we got to create more efficient options to connecting our communities. So let's start focusing on how do we create a transit system that works, especially for individuals in the South Bay.
And the San Ysidro School Board, which you sit on, paid former Superintendent Julio Fonseca $1 million for about 2 years of work, making him the second highest paid superintendent in the state. David Alvarez said that pay speaks to the incompetence of the school board members who were either misled or blatantly gave away this type of package deal. Was the pay evidence of incompetence?
I want to make sure that obviously, one, if the result was in terms of him being later criminally charged, we're going to go after the money. We're going to get the money back. But I think ultimately when it comes to the buyout, I feel that the board made the right decision, because ultimately the alternative would have been a costly lawsuit that would have spent more money trying to recuperate or trying to basically essentially get that money.
Then the interim replacement also allegedly deceived the board too?
No. Well, honestly, I don't know about that. I haven't seen that, but I do believe that, again, what we need to do is focus on how do we allocate the money appropriately and how do we get it to where it belongs, which is our kids.
And looking at your stance on issues, where do you most disagree with your opponents?
I would just say, for me, I want to make sure that when I'm getting things done at City Hall, I'm not just saying I'm going to get it done. I want to work to get it done. Frankly, I've had the pleasure of having a lot of community support, a lot of support from individuals like police officers, teachers, firefighters, all supporting my campaign, carpenters. So for me, I want to make sure that we have the community obviously advocating for our fair share, but that we actually also get it done. I don't want to just say I want to get it done. I want to advocate to get it done and resolve a lot of problems that we've been asking for years.
All right. Thanks for joining us.
Thanks.
I appreciate it.
Bye-bye.
All right.